The Nile turns blood red. Frogs overrun the land. Thick darkness shuts down an entire empire. For thousands of years, the 10 plagues of Egypt have been seen as divine judgment. But today, a different explanation is gaining traction. What if they weren't miracles at all? What if these were natural disasters? A perfect chain reaction in a fragile ecosystem. Misunderstood by an ancient world. At first glance, that explanation sounds convincing. A toxic algal bloom turns the Nile red. Fish die. Frogs flee onto land. Dead frogs trigger insect swarms. Disease spreads. Livestock collapse. Step by step, it looks like a logical chain reaction. And to be fair, parts of that may be possible. But here's the question most people don't stop to ask. Does that explanation actually explain the plagues? Or does it just describe how some of them could begin? Because the account in the book of Exodus doesn't describe random collapse. It describes 10 distinct events escalating in intensity. Announced in advance, and tied to one repeated demand. Let my people go. And this is where the convincing explanation starts to break down. Because the issue isn't whether nature can be powerful. Of course it can. The issue is whether blind natural processes can produce this kind of pattern. The plagues aren't just sequential, they're precise. At key moments, they're selective. They devastate Egypt while sparing the land of Goshen, where the Israelites live. Darkness falls, but not everywhere. Livestock die, but not indiscriminately. Random disasters don't usually respect boundaries like that. Then there's the timing. Several plagues are announced ahead of time. Warnings are given. Deadlines are set. And when Pharaoh responds, some plagues stop almost immediately. Natural disasters don't negotiate with kings. And there's a deeper layer many people overlook. In ancient Egypt, the forces of nature weren't just physical. They were tied to what people trusted. The Nile, the sun, fertility, health. The plagues systematically unravel those foundations. Not randomly, but in a way that directly confronts what Egypt depended on most. Nature can cause chaos. This reads like control. Now, to stay fair, none of this means natural processes weren't involved. It's entirely possible they were. But that leads to a more precise question. Were these events purely natural, or were natural processes being used with purpose? Because explaining how something could happen is not the same as explaining why it happened this way. With this timing, this escalation, this precision, the plagues weren't just environmental disasters. They were a confrontation, a ruler refusing to let go, a people crying out for freedom, and a sequence of events that dismantled power layer by layer. Water, land, health, economy, sky, light, until finally, life itself. That's why this story still matters. Not just as an ancient event, but as a pattern. What happens when power hardens itself against truth? Warnings come, pressure builds, and eventually, something breaks. So were the plagues of Egypt just natural disasters? Possibly, in part, but their timing, selectivity, escalation, and meaning make it much harder to reduce them to coincidence. The better question isn't just, could nature do this? It's, why did it happen like this? And what was it saying? Because in Exodus, the plagues weren't only judgment. They were signs, warnings, and, in a strange way, mercy. Opportunities to change course before the moment when everything changed. So what do you think? Were the plagues simply nature running its course? Or something far more intentional? Drop your honest take in the comments. And if you want clear, balanced explorations of the Bible and evidence, subscribe. We've got a lot more to uncover.